Hello and welcome to the Binge Thinker live from Brussels in Belgium. I am here in the Grand Centre Palace Square, something like that. It's in Flemish, French, I can't tell. My name is Jamil Raymond. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here as always. Guys, if you are just watching this, if you've just listening to this, give the YouTube a look. You got to see where I am right now, talking mad shit in the middle of one of the most beautiful squares in Europe. This is the Grand Central Square in Brussels. Behind me is a fantastically beautiful building. I don't know what it's for. I haven't done a walking tour. I don't really care for the history of what these buildings are. It's all the similar shit. It's all government stuff or some palace or, some nobility in the 1600s taking advantage of serfdom. But it is beautiful around here. So I thought, why not give it a crack, do the pod live from one of the most touristy places in Belgium and have a bit of fun doing so. This is going to be another light episode because fucking hell, I'm on holiday, guys. This is what you have to do when you got to hustle. You just got to fucking work when you're playing and just consider your work play. I don't know if you probably heard that, but it is quite gusty out here. You probably can see my hair flying around a fair bit. But yeah, it's been a blustery, wintry sort of feel here in Amsterdam and Belgium for the last couple of days. Pretty dreary, unfortunately. Had some nice sun here in Belgium yesterday, but that was short-lived with a whole bunch of rain. So today is my last day in Europe. I leave tonight. I have to take a train back to Amsterdam, and then I'll take a plane from Amsterdam to Bangkok, where I go from a very chilly 8 to 10 degrees here to a very paltry 32 degrees in Thailand for the next week or so. So looking forward to some temperature, looking forward to wearing shorts, looking forward to some sweat and eating properly. I'll tell you what, over here, they love their fucking chips. It's harder to eat. It's harder to eat healthy here than you think. It's easy to eat healthy, relatively healthy. They do enjoy vegetables. They love their fucking bread. Jesus Christ, they love a carb. They love cheese. But it's hard to get big, meaty portions of things. So the macros haven't really been on point like they usually are in other weeks. But fuck it. I'm on holiday. Got to enjoy this shit, So on the pod today, we're gonna keep this light, go through the usual stuff, solopreneur journey, what's the next system, talking about hormones. And then just a few reflections from the trip so far. Again, a little bit of something authentic in here. Just want to keep this one lighthearted. And maybe, you can enjoy the view behind me just as much as the quality content that I produce for you lovely bingers. So without further ado, let's kick it off. So, solopreneur journey. What's been happening lately? This week, haven't done too much because I've been enjoying myself, but one of the key things that I have started to do is to create content for the sales course already. Since I'm already on a sales trip. I'm on a trip for top sales. So wouldn't this be the best place to talk about my sales course and talk about all the things that I'm talking about all the things that I'm teaching? Here's the fucking evidence that this shit works, folks. I think I talked about that in the previous set, but honestly, this is the Stream of Consciousness podcast, and I'm not really even sure what I talk about anymore. I just know I have a topic, and I don't think you guys are keeping tabs anyway. But yeah, shooting my own content, doing stuff similar to this. During the week while I was in Amsterdam, had some time to myself. I had gone to and found the nicest bridge, the nicest canal bridge in Amsterdam, and started to shoot some content from there, shooting ads about, this is how you're supposed to live. This is what a great career in tech sales can do for you. You can enjoy, a six-figure salary whilst traveling the world just for being good at what you fucking do. And it's not necessarily that difficult to get to this point within a couple of years in your career. So just points like that. I've also got this great ad that I'm going to put together about the benefit, like the perks of being in tech sales, where I'm going to do an ad where I cut from Melbourne to Amsterdam to Bangkok, do some nice, content creator transitions, and again, talk about the benefits of being in tech sales, talking about how this, being great at tech sales can enable a great traveling lifestyle. I even think about this now where I'm thinking once I get the course off the ground and it's making a stable amount of income, somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 in revenue per month, I could just cut everything off from Melbourne and basically just travel around teaching the course, doing remote work, just I sell the ad, not sell the ad, sell the course in different countries, different territories, and just spend time traveling, creating content for it. And yeah, just living a bit of a nomadic lifestyle for a bit, which sounds pretty sweet because, this is the beauty of travel, is you get to experience things and cultures and people and experiences. And everywhere I go, I figure out, it's the same problems. Everyone is human. Everyone is people. So we all have the same people problems. So there's still the same things to solve no matter where you are in any country. So I think there's something to that in the future evolutions of the sales course, releasing it in different territories, Asia, Europe, the US, maybe having localized versions of the course, because every culture has different selling techniques, capabilities. In Australia, it's quite straightforward, pretty laid back way of selling. In the US, it's very, greed is good, Wolf of Wall Street, ugh. You know that. You go get them, everybody. Got to get that bread. Fuck that shit, man. I hate. It's too salesy. It's too, uptight. Fucking ridiculous. And then in Asia, it's mostly bribes. But hey, if you got to if I have to release a course or a module on how to give good bribes, so be it. That's just how the cookie crumbles in certain parts of Asia and Europe, everywhere. There's corruption everywhere. It's all bribes. It's all kickbacks. That's what I talk about in the course as well. I don't talk about bribes in the course, but I did film a bit of content again about the perks of being in tech sales whilst being on this fucking trip. Because again, it's easy to talk about it. Show it. Show what the fuck you're doing. It's not just bullshit. I'm out living the values, living the strategy, living these things that I'm teaching, and this is where it gets me. So hopefully that adds a bit of authenticity to what I'm doing here. I think it will. And yeah, again, 2 words. Tax write-off? That's 3 words. There's a hyphen in there. I don't know if hyphen words count. But anyway. So yeah, creating content. It's, putting myself out there. It's scary at first to really put yourself like, shit, I'm just talking in public to a camera, being one of those things that people that I used to judge a lot for being, a bit narcissistic. But you've got to be a bit narcissistic to get this shit done, guys. You've got to not give a fuck about what other people think to really get out there and do your shit. I mean, this is what I'm doing now. I'm speaking to you guys from Belgium, from Brussels. And if you have a look around, there's hundreds, maybe a couple of thousand people here as we speak, and plenty more flooding in. And you know what? They have a look around, they go, oh, that's interesting, and then they just go about their own fucking day. They really just don't care that much. They presume something nice, they might ask a question, they say hello, and then they get on with their day. And you just keep doing what you got to do. And that's just the beauty of it. It just builds a lot of confidence. You go, oh, fucking, I'm doing what I got to do. Most people live lives of quiet desperation, and this is pretty fucking interesting to people. So once you get past that initial awkwardness and just get over it, the idea of being seen, it's actually a very powerful position to be in, and a lot of people are jealous that you have the balls to fucking lean in and do it. And that's probably a quality of good leadership, is you've got to be the example. That's something that is one of my deepest learnings when it comes to leadership. And that's great leadership examples and lessons for anyone. It's not just for me, is you've got to show and be the example of what you're saying. Because if you don't have that integrity lined up with what you say and what you do, then you're full of shit. So here I am, lining myself up, being a bit of a fucking weirdo. And yeah, having a lot of fun doing it. It feels like growth, baby. And growth is good. So yeah, that's it for this week on the Solopreneur Journey. Next week, I am at work, again, mixture of business and pleasure at Cisco as part of a knowledge exchange in the Bangkok Hilton. Ah, very nice. And I hopefully can shoot some content of me presenting. I needed to get some B-roll of me just presenting something so I look like I got a bit of authority for any ads that I shoot, so people can see that I'm teaching this shit for real. And then next, I'll also probably do some, I don't know if you can hear that plane, one sec. The airport's not far from here, though. It's pretty loud, but, authenticity, baby. This shit's real. What was I talking about? I got distracted. I've had my second coffee of the day, and I had a waffle, a delicious Brussels waffle, and yeah, like I'm just pumped full of sugar and caffeine, which is probably not good for about midday. But the good thing is, I'll get to nap on the train back to Amsterdam, and then I've got an 11-hour flight to Bangkok from Amsterdam. So I'll crash and burn later in the day. After this, it's pretty much just dead time from here. It's just a lot of commuting and just hanging out. Might sample the goods of Amsterdam one last time before I go to the airport and take that 11-hour flight. We'll see. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about content. Oh, yeah. Before I was talking about shooting content from shooting content with authority so it looks good in the B-roll. Again, demonstrating that I'm teaching this shit for real. That's all I wanted to say on that. So yeah, that's the journey so far. It feels good to be doing this stuff. It feels in alignment. It feels energizing. So this is why I'm just putting myself out further and further and facing the edge every time, having a bit of fun in the process. And yeah, hopefully one day you'll be like, fuck, this guy is putting himself out there. This guy's got some shit going. All right, baby, let's talk about systems, right? Again, physical, mental, spiritual health, understanding your systems. You do not rise to your motivation, you fall to your habits and your systems. Understanding yourself from the ground up, what you need to understand, optimize, iterate on to become the best you. How you doing? Now people are getting intimidated. That's fine. So, what was I talking about? Yes, systems. We've talked about physical systems, diet, exercise, sleep. Number 4 is hormones, baby. Got to get those hormones in shape. That is what makes you a man or you a lady. And I know in 2023, anyone can be a man, anyone can be a lady, but you know what? I'm a fucking pretty binary male, and I fucking love it. And I never felt stronger, more driven, more optimistic, more aligned than by having high testosterone. Right? This is the way we are meant to be, full of the hormones that drive us in the gender binary. You can be as queer as you want, you can enjoy yourself however you want, but mentally, right? Your sexuality, I'm sure there is a link to hormones, and I suspect, right, this could be controversial, but I very much suspect that a lot of what we have in the non-binary and expanding the gender spectrum, I think a lot of that occurs from biological factors like plastics, not people not understanding the hormones and whether their hormones are within a natural range or normal range. The fact that we're not eating high protein foods. People are going vegan. People are going, having a lot of plastics, having fucking seed oils, and basically just wrecking the hormones just from modern life. And I really do suspect that if you fix that shit up, and that if you gave someone that was gender questioning a bunch of testosterone and a good diet, and again for the female side, great estrogen, solid diet, aligned all the systems, I think we would have a significantly smaller portion of trans and non-binary people. Not to say that their sexuality is anything to be negated against. I'm not saying that at all. I am very pro anyone being who they want to be. I have no question about that. I fucking produced a queer comedy show, right? This is not a political statement. I just suspect that from a biological factor, that a lot of what we see in this expansion of the gender spectrum could come from hormone optimization and could change things and change the dynamic of it. That's the thing all I want to say on that. I know that I'm not trying to be rude or mean or to denigrate anyone in the queer community. I have plenty of queer friends, and I've got plenty of, queer people that are binary gender-wise. I just think from, this melding of gender, they talk about just gender dysphoria and gender questioning. I think some answers could be in diet, in physical systems, and optimizing those before we go, hey, let me do a fucking full surgery here, or let me start fucking my hormones from male to female or vice versa. So anyway, I'm only going to talk about hormones from a male perspective. I'm going to talk a little bit about estrogen. Because again, I'm not a woman. I'm not going to talk from that perspective. I don't have that expertise. But as we've seen on previous episodes, I've talked about this many times. Optimizing your hormones can be done naturally. I have done it unnaturally and I fucked it. Talked about last episode on the pod, talking about how this time 7 years ago I was on testosterone, fucked myself up pretty badly from not understanding how it works and doing it unsupervised and not taking the medication, to doing this shit natural, taking supplements that are available over the counter at your local chemist, and just, again, having expertise from Nikita about, what is testosterone, what it does for us naturally in the body, and how we can build it so we can live strong, empowered, masculine lives as men. So, why is it so important? I think we've talked about the importance of it already, but I can say from a personal experience that optimizing my hormones has been a key factor to offsetting things like anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, doubting myself a lot more. Having optimized, strong, healthy testosterone levels has definitely negated a lot of those factors. I don't think I've suffered any depressive bouts in quite some time since I have since I've optimized my hormones. Not that I've had many depressive bouts, but definitely, yeah, just again, questioning my ability to do things. That's a mindset thing as well, but there is certainly some considerations to have for healthy hormones and lots of testosterone, because testosterone, along with dopamine, are drive hormones. Testosterone, you think about men, you think about the way we're built, we are direction based. I've said this before, the divine masculine is about consciousness, it's about direction. Testosterone, high testosterone, it makes you want to protect, it makes you want to serve, it makes you want to provide. And that's something that I certainly feel as I mature and I have more days on the board and more runs on the board from having quality testosterone in my body. And how I've gotten here, again, through natural supplementation, quality mindset, quality nutrition. Okay? So I'm going to give you my delicious testosterone recipe. And again, you guys can do this over the counter as well. This is easily accessible stuff. It seems like a lot, and it probably is. But again, you got to do what others don't to get what others won't. It just means you need to supplement right, get your mind right, exercise right, and make sure you get your bloods done as well. So I get my bloods tested every 3 to 6 months just to see how things are going in the hormone department, particularly because I know that I've got low testosterone or had it. And now I'm experimenting with other factors that will increase my testosterone besides the basic supplementation. I'm starting to uplift it in other ways as well, which we'll talk about. So with testosterone, the recipe to getting it right is supplementation-wise. Actually, let's start from diet. So one of the things that you need to understand about testosterone, it's actually a fat-based hormone. It actually needs good saturated fats. It needs you need an excess of calories to produce extra hormones. And you need to be having, again, quality sleep, quality diet, quality exercise before you can really optimize your hormones using supplementation. So this is, again, from the ground up, it's always diet, sleep, exercise, hormone optimization to get the most out of yourself. Because there are so many other natural factors, stress, cortisol, lack of quality diet, lack of protein in your diet, lack of saturated fats and quality fats, that could naturally optimize your testosterone before you add supplementation in to peak it or just to maintain it even further. So from the ground up, from a diet perspective, you need a high-fat diet. High protein keto, we talked about before, is great for that because you get a lot of saturated fats. So saturated fats come from things like the meat, from the skin on meat. So having chicken skin and having the fat on a steak. Back in the day, in the 90s and 80s, fat was demonized and said fat was bad for you, and we went on high carb diets and low fat diets, but that's fucking bullshit. Carbohydrates were harder to get back in the day. Our bodies are not adapted to it. They're adapted to eating animal products. They're adapted to eating fats and nuts, some seeds as we forage them around. So again, high protein diet. You've got to be maximizing your amino acids and your protein chains. So getting complete sources of protein, animal protein, eggs, very highly bioavailable, a complete protein source. And then, yeah, don't be afraid of fats. You know, when I was on high protein keto, I was eating whole chickens with the skin on. I'm eating wings. I'm eating ribs. I'm eating like a fucking barbarian, baby, and it feels good. So that's diet. Sleep. Just get your feel good, getting your 7 to 8 hours, feeling like you are actually refreshed in the morning. That's all I can really say about that is good sleep. Sleep well. No matter what happens, you can't really change the way you sleep to optimize any other system. You've just got to get sleep right and really nail that down, and then it provides its benefits in all the other systems and synchronizes with those. Exercise. Exercise, you got to go hard in the fucking paint with exercise. Exercise and mindset actually go hand in hand here when it comes to developing your testosterone naturally. So, going hard, heavy, big lifts, right? You got to do this. You got to do this compound lifts, your squats, your deadlifts, your bench. You got to move as much muscle as you can at once because all of that action does generate testosterone. And you need to be aggressive in the way that you work out. You need to be fucking pushing yourself. You need that right? That comes from testosterone. So if you are willing yourself to create that fucking urge to be a fucking hard cunt, then you've just got to go hard and then the body will respond. Where the mind goes, the body follows. So don't be afraid to fucking grunt in the gym, lift some fucking heavy weights, and be a bit of a sick cunt if you want to develop your testosterone naturally, because that's what I've done. So when I was in a real rebuilding phase, squats, deadlifts, bench, heavy compound movements, sets, 3 to 4 sets of no more than 5 to 6 reps, 5 to 8 reps, nothing high rep, low rep, strength based, hypertrophy based, build more muscle, just move some more weight, get that shit going. And then, so diet, sleep, exercise, mindset. You gotta embrace the dark in you. You got to embrace the fucking shit that people are saying, ooh, toxic masculinity. But what I mean by that is you've got to be a bit of a prick, right? Men are hunters. We don't have time to be soft and apologetic if we are hunting out in these goddamn streets to get what we want in life. So being a bit of a jerk fucking pays off. Being that guy that goes, be that fucking, that guy in the gym that goes, what's that guy's fucking problem? You got to be that sometimes. You got to walk around with an air of confidence about you because you're like, yeah, I'm going to get some fucking shit done. So I've just turned around and noticed everyone that is looking at me. But again, they've all stopped. They're all doing their own thing. They don't give a fuck, right? They don't care. Anyhow, being a bit of a sick cunt, you got to walk around with confidence, with drive. Being on testosterone, when you've got that synthesized, when you're jabbing, that happens naturally anyway. Again, you'll feel fucking great when you've got high test. You won't help yourself but just fucking strut around like a big dog because if you're a man, if you're masculine, that's what you want. You need that confidence. You need that chivalrous attitude to be able to just walk around and get shit done because that's what women want, a fucking winner. You want to walk around feeling like a goddamn winner. And with enough test coursing through your body and getting some shit done, you will be. It's getting real fucking windy here. All right. So now let's talk about supplementation, right? Again, this is the pinnacle. Got to get the basics right. Supplementation in general, not just in testosterone, but any supplements. There's a huge industry that's based on supplementation in the gym and all the gym bro shit. 95% of that shit is useless. They only really affect the top 5 to 10% of your performance. So when you are really peaking your performance, if you are an athlete, that's when you should consider large amounts of supplementation or any real supplementation. So if you are in a rebuild like I am, if you've got low T, if you get your blood stunned and you figure out you got low T, this is the recipe that I've been using to rebuild my testosterone naturally. I've got the bloods, I've got the numbers to prove it. In some places, I've doubled. I'm due for a blood test when I get back from this trip. And because I've been experimenting with some other supplementation, I suspect that my testosterone will be even higher than it was when I replaced it naturally. So let's talk about the ones that got me back to a healthy range. So the supplements that I take for healthy testosterone supplementation are cod liver oil. I also take zinc, and I also take a lot of magnesium. Now, the vitamins that are in that, particularly in cod liver oil, are predominantly vitamin A and vitamin D with a little bit of vitamin K. The zinc is actually just a lot of zinc. That's what is required alongside magnesium to produce healthy testosterone. It's one of the key base blocks of it. And then magnesium I was already taking anyway. I've talked about this for optimal sleep. So I've bumped it up a little bit more from there as well. So that doesn't have to be anything crazy. Doesn't have to be the finest supplementation. I literally rebuilt my stuff with over-the-counter medications, really basic stuff. If you're in Australia, I got them from Chemist Warehouse. That's what I mean. It's not like it's some elusive thing. You just need the right information in front of you to get it done. So I might put some posts up about the supplementation stack, or just a photo or two. But as far as zinc is concerned, I'm taking about 100 to 120 milligrams of zinc per day. I take 6 to 10 mils of cod liver oil when I'm at home every day. And I take about 400 to 500 milligrams of magnesium every day. Right? I don't want to go into the details of how testosterone is built up because, again, it'll just go over your fucking heads. You want results. Here's the fucking results. Here's the things you need to do to get shit done. You can look at this after the pod and you can do your own research on it. But this has been tested and proven, and I'm hiding nothing else from you guys about what the recipe is. It is cod liver oil, magnesium, zinc, a fair chunk of it, right? So when at nighttime, when I take my night sups, what's my full nighttime stack? It's theanine, so 200 milligrams of theanine, which is for sleep, 400 to 500 milligrams of chelated magnesium chelate if you can get it. If not the biggest deal. You can get 3 and 8, but it's too expensive for my liking. I mean, I should just commit to it because it is better, but it's extra pills. I got to find ones that are high pill size or high dosage. Because what I'm talking about now here is if I have my magnesium, I'm having 4 to 5 magnesium caps. I was having 6 zinc gels, 6 cod liver gels, 2 zinc capsules, 1 theanine capsule. So I was ingesting about 10, 11, and probably about 10 to 12 capsules before I go to bed. So it's like a small meal in some ways. But it's got to get done. So what I did to offset all those pills and stuff is that I got higher dosage supplementation. Same shit, just, I went to iherb.com and, just bought higher dosage supplements. I went from gels to just the liquid. So I drink a cod liver oil liquid version, and I just scull that down the pills with a lot of water, and there you go. So again, that stack, it's eating lots of fatty meats, lots of protein. From a sleep perspective, getting you solid 7-8 hours, feeling refreshed in the morning, staying off your phone, all the stuff that we talked about last week about your sleep stack. Exercise, heavy weights, get angry, go hard in the paint, be a mad cunt. And then supplementation-wise, cod liver oil, magnesium, zinc. That's it, folks. That's all I've done. I've doubled my testosterone naturally. I can put the bloods up, or if you want to have a chat about it, we can do so. Maybe a different episode when I compare this sort of shit. And yeah, that is the hormones for boys, right? To be a big beefy boy. Now again, for the ladies out there, and I would love to say I've got multiple female fans. I hope there is more than that. If you're a lady fan that's listening to this, reach out, just so I know, So, for the ladies, I can't talk about how to optimize estrogen, although, like we've talked about in previous episodes, men do have a small amount of estrogen in their bodies. I do know what is good to produce more estrogen is soy, organic full-fat milk, so anything with lots of fats and estrogens. So again, boys, you want to stay away from the soy food because that is it is estrogenic, and so you'll soften up. So I stay away from any tofu, any soy products. Sometimes there's soy sauce and shit like that. It's good flavoring, but what are you going to do? Like, it's not going to fucking kill you. Just don't be a fucking soy boy. To stay away from the tofus. So for the ladies, yes. Soy, raw, organic, full fat milk, lots of dairy products because there is estrogenic properties in the milk when it's raw and organic because the mum is female from the cow when it feeds it to the kid. There it is. Yeah, pass your hormones down. And then also tracking your menstrual cycle. That's a big one. That's a free, easy tool to understand your hormonal range and hormonal cycle. Like a lot of women don't even realize they can only get pregnant, no more than 3 to 5 days a month in your ovulation cycle. So when you understand that, and you understand there's a dip and then there's a surge of hormones and you feel more horny during your ovulation cycle, there's a lot that can be done to understand your mindset and perspective, particularly if you've got things like PMS, or you just feel like you can be an emotional wreck sometimes. Probably if you don't understand how your hormones are affecting you because of your monthly cycle, that can do a lot for it. So tracking your cycle every month, very, very effective. I used to track my partner's cycle a little bit, just by sort of gut feel, and that would understand, hey, I got to back off this week because she's going to be PMSy, or I know she's going to be horny this week because there's a couple of days until she's ovulating. And then men getting into those cycles and understanding that they've got a rhythm, just like the sun and the moon, right? They talk about their moon cycles and spiritual circles. Understanding that stuff, it can save you a lot of headache just to be like, oh, I know this wave is coming, let's back off. So yeah, hormone optimization for the ladies. Maybe I should do an episode on that separately. I don't think women, unless out of necessity, are more invested in fixing their estrogenic cycles, unless they've got things like polycystic ovarian syndrome, so PCOS, or anything that's directly affecting their hormone cycles and that gives them acne and bloating, all that sort of stuff. But hey, if you are one of these alpha ladies that likes to track their shit, get in touch. Let's talk about it. And that's the hormone systems, ladies and gentlemen, for this week. And we're going to start going through the mental tools next week as well. I wanna say this though about systems. Being on holiday and not having my routine has overwhelmingly demonstrated how volatile your existence and your mindset can be when you do not have your systems in place. Give me one sec. Again, freaking out about not recording properly. No, we're still good. All right. We're on 33 minutes. It's getting wet. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so anyway, what I was talking about. So being on holiday and not being in my routine has plummeted my mental health in the last few days, if I'm being really fucking honest. And this happened to me last time I went overseas when I went to the US, and I've really learnt the lesson again now and reminded myself of this lesson is you got to maintain these bases of systems no matter wherever you fucking go. Because, I have been exercising, but I haven't been eating as much. My sleep has been off because I've been sleeping in different places. I've had jet lag. So much of this shit, I've become more anxious, more tired, more negative thoughts have come and gone. And then I've gone, fuck, I got to realize, and the chuff, right? I've been smoking a little bit more weed than usual as part of my regular dosage, which has not been good, which led me to having an anxiety attack a few days ago because I was like, oh, fuck, my body is not in shape. So now over the last few days, I have slowed things down, realizing I'm no spring chicken that has to fucking get out and party every night when traveling, which is what I used to do when I was younger. One of my other lessons that I got from being here in Amsterdam and in Europe is not to just be, it doesn't have to be this big party situation all the time. I've got to be out every night. I mean, I like going to bed by 10 o'clock and most of the things that I want to do I've already done here. So it's not like I want to be out fucking doing mad shit. As you can tell, folks, maybe if you're watching this, it is raining, it is blustering. Ooh, we might get a cheeky upskirt here from this mum. Oh dear, we've got a couple of upturned umbrellas. Am I a creep for that? Oh, fuck it, put it in the B-roll. Anyway, we power on because we've got a few minutes left. I'm just going to talk about characters and reflections on my time here for section 3. Well, I mean, I kind of talked about it anyway. I think it probably ties in a little bit well about what I've been doing here. in I guess Amsterdam and Brussels. Again, getting those systems in place, and the lessons that I've learnt from being here is to go, fuck, dude, like, yeah, I'm not some fucking drunk, worst example of an Australian on holiday ever anymore. I am a mature individual that's working on big things, and keeping a healthy mind, body, spirit applies every single day, no matter where you are, even if you're on holiday, even if you're on vacation. So I'm doing, you know, having a baseline, having a routine that's built this consistency and then blowing it all away for a couple of weeks just to have fun, that's actually not beneficial at all. And you've got to keep this system in place no matter where you go. Yeah, you can relax it a little bit. I haven't tracked my macros this week because I can't be fucked, and I've been enjoying things. Like I just had a waffle, and I've been enjoying all of the, I've had a couple of Belgian beers and fries and enjoyed the culture. But I've also exercised quite frequently. I'm doing close to 20,000 steps a day. But laying off the chuff, having a couple of days off here and there because I'm dosing higher. When I smoked last night, had a little bit, just a little bit. Don't smoke a full half gram because you're smoking a thumbnail's worth of weed when you're at home, dummy. So yeah, keeping this routine, keeping your systems in place. Your mind doesn't take some time off when you're on holiday, right? Your body doesn't really take time off when you're on holiday. Yes, enjoy some stuff, but you've got to keep your shit together no matter what. So I've learned that. I'm paying through the nose for casual gym sessions. I'm paying through the nose for quality food, getting steaks and stuff like that, instead of just getting cheese sandwiches, which is what the Dutch love. Yeah, it costs you extra, but this is the cost of high performance. I'll make this money back and being a fucking sick cunt down the line anyways. Doesn't matter. So yeah, keep your systems in place. A big lesson for me is just grow up, mate. Grow up a little bit. Keep your shit together no matter where you are. And more great things will happen when they do. When I have kept myself back in alignment, meditating again, eating right, slowing down, getting quality sleep over the last 3 days after I had this anxiety attack, I feel much more aligned. I feel like things are happening for me again. It's really on me to keep a baseline of capability in line, to keep enabling the wacky things that I do, like talking mad shit in the middle of a Belgian square. I think I'm going to leave it there, folks. If we're hitting about 40 minutes, I've got to start leaving soon and packing my shit up to go to the train station. And it's also raining and it's quite blustery and shitty here. And again, I'm on holiday. You had your reflection, you got your systems in place, get that shit together, get your hormones right. Let's see how these ads turn out in a few months' time. They won't be released for ages, but at least I've got the content there ready to go, baby. And that's it. Folks, this has been a lot of fun. Hope you're enjoying the views and as well as me. So, you know where to find me. Jamil J. Raymond on all the socials. If you like what I'm doing here, give us a like and subscribe. Send this shit to your friends. You know what to do. Thank you for everyone that's reached out so far, asking for help, giving feedback. Love it. Keep it going. Gives a lot of motivation. And then I can keep doing crazy shit like this for you good people and keep delivering amazing value to your lives and hopefully get you to your higher self. Next week I'll be in Bangkok somewhere, having fun, getting sweaty. Looking forward to it. All right, bingers. I've been Jamil Raymond. I love yous. Goodbye.